Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I'm going to read a meditation here in a second, but I just want to give a little snow update since I've talked about it on here the last couple days. We finally got our snow. God, I can't even tell how many inches outside. It looks about, I don't know, like 6 or 7 inches. It's a lot, and it's still snowing. It's very, very pretty, but it's kind of hard to drive in. So my husband and I are getting ready to actually make a video together, which I'm real excited about. But it's just a very peaceful day outside. It's beautiful. It's just like hanging on the trees, and I love it. So, but you know, one of the things, the meditation that I'm about to read kind of reminded me a little bit of the weather today. You know, I talk a lot in all my videos about spirituality and my spiritual beliefs and my importance of having a spiritual foundation. You know, I don't know that I've ever actually done a video on this channel where I talk about how I came up with my higher power, my spiritual beliefs. It's kind of a combination of many different ideas that is kind of rooted in compassion, kindness, love, tolerance, understanding. I could do that video if you guys want to hear that video. But I also highly respect people's other spiritual beliefs as long as they're not harmful to other people or their lack of a belief, because I think that we have a right to believe in what we want to believe in this world, right? And today's meditation speaks a little bit to that, to more of a belief in the universe. And even though it alludes to a God or a higher power in here, because it does, it talks about that, I think it talks more about the universe and how the universe and the world around us speak to us, which I think is kind of important. And you know, I'm a big believer in being connected to the world around us, being connected to the universe. I'm a believer in connectivity between people, even if we're 10,000 miles apart, you know? I believe in the idea of shared experiences, and that we may never speak the same language or understand each other, but have we gone through similar experiences, then we understand each other on a level that is unexplainable, if that makes sense. I mean, I think shared experience is a language of its own. I want to share this meditation today, and it's from January 12th, and it's from Melody Beatty's Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on the Path to Freeing Your Soul. Let the universe help you. Let the universe help you. You are not in this world alone. You never have been, although your belief may have created that illusion. Tell the universe what you want. Tell a friend. Tell God too. Tell yourself. Write it down on a list. Be clear and forthright about what you need and want. Talk as if you were talking to a friend. That is not control. That is learning to own your creative power, your power to help create your life. Then let go. Do not stand tapping your foot and patiently waiting. Simply let go. The way you would if you trusted your friend to respond positively in a way that was best for you. Go naturally about the course of your life. Listen to your heart. Listen to your inner voice. What you are guided to do, where you are guided to go, where your attention is directed, the people you meet, the phone calls you receive, the experiences you have, even the problems that arise. These are some ways the universe can respond to you. Open your eyes, look around, see how the universe responds, watch how it dances for you, with you. You are connected to a magical, loving universe, one that will come alive for you, dance for you, in ways you cannot imagine, but in ways you will come to know as true. Look within too. Sometimes the most gentle, quiet, flickering thought, that glimmer of an idea, that awareness of a need or desire, or that small bit of inspiration or intuition, is how the universe prepares us for what it wants us to do or receive. Our inner voice, the one in our heart, is an important part of the way we're guided and let down our path. You stand at a gateway now. It's the door to universal love. And I adore this meditation. And it was funny because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who watches this channel. And she said to me, you know, she goes, I have to tell you what I really like about the channel is you read these meditations, but often the meditations are very, very confusing. And she's like, then you talk afterwards and you kind of make them like understandable. Like they're easier to understand after you've talked about them. And so it's interesting because when you go in here and you listen to it, it's really about the connectivity that I was talking about, you know, the shared experiences between human beings. But above and beyond that, what it's really talking about, you know, is coincidence versus intuition. And I have to tell you that, you know, as I get older, I am a believer in gut responses, intuition. I'm not a huge believer in coincidence. Now you have to understand, and if this isn't what you believe, I totally respect that, but I am very much a believer in a higher power, and that my higher power puts people, places, and things in my life for reasons. You know, I do believe that people come into our lives for a reason, season, or a lifetime. You know, but that sometimes people may seem like lifetime people when they end up being lesson people, if that makes sense. Things that we learn from somebody, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be in our life forever. And I think that our attachments to people and our attachments to places and things is difficult because we have a hard time letting that go. One of the things that I would suggest that I have really tried to do in the last couple years to kind of hone in on my inner intuition, which I do believe in, and I do believe is, you know, a spiritually given kind of intuition, and that I think we all have, that I believe that we all have, is, you know, for example, if I'm going down the road and I typically would go, like, let's say right, and it's the same distance to go, like, you know, forward and then, like, go over. You know, if my gut is like, don't go right, like if that's my initial response, I don't do it. Like I go forward. I've really been trying to go with my gut. And I have to tell you what's really interesting about that is that whenever I don't, I find myself like in a traffic jam or something like that, you know, or like, oh my God, I can't believe that I went this way and this is what happened. Or, you know, it's so interesting to me how like my gut and my intuition, if you're out there and you relate to this, you're like, yes, oh my God, I'm the same way, right? Well, to really, I think, hone in on that, we have to practice it more. And this isn't, I'm not trying to get all like new agey, weirdo about it. And maybe it is, I don't know. You know, maybe it's very psychic kind of weirdo stuff. But at the same time, I believe that we do have somewhat of an intuition about us. You know, that we have this kind of like higher power, universe given connectivity to the world, that we have a feeling about how the world is working around us. It's not just that like, oh, we're psychic mediums of the world and we can go, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. It's just that we have an innate feeling about something, if that makes sense. Have you ever like, you know, you have a feeling that you're going to go, like you're going to go into a test and you're going to take a test, right? You know, there's been a lot of stuff proven that, and this is kind of the opposite of this, but that like the tape in our head that's running affects that test, if that makes sense. They've done a lot of studies. I was talking about this on here not too long ago, that have shown that if you like kind of give yourself the mantra, like I'm gonna ace this test, I'm gonna do really well in this test, I'm gonna do really well. I mean, of course you have to study for the test, right? But if you go into it and you tell yourself that, versus telling yourself, I'm going to fail this test, I'm going to do horrible, like I'm just not going to do good at all, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy when I walk in the room, the chances are we do better when we like really, you know, believe in ourselves and all that kind of stuff. And because we kind of like are building up that mantra in our head. And I think that's also, that affects the intuition and that affects our gut feelings about things that are going to happen in the world. And so I think it's kind of about like really at some point recognizing you're not just this person that's floating through the universe. We're a unique being. You know, as you're sitting there right now watching this, I don't know who you are, Sue Smith, you know, John Smith, whoever you are, right? There will never be another you as long as the universe exists. You are specific, unique, and different to this entire universe. Think about that for a second, okay? Your life, no matter what you do, okay? Whether you are a neuroscientist that is, you know, curing brain things around the world, or whether you are a host at Walmart, both are equally important because you are affecting people and you are affecting the universe around you in a way that will never be there again, right? So we can't just let our lives seem like these things that don't matter, because they really do, you know? And when we feel that connectivity to other people in the universe, when we realize the universe is working around us at the same time, that we are part of that, like we feel like we're part of something that's a lot bigger than us. But there's never going to be another us out there. I mean, we are very specific and different. And those things that you don't like about yourself, I'm kind of flipping from one topic to the next, but those things that you don't like about yourself, those things that are different, that you have a hard time loving or, you know, grasping about yourself, those are the things that make you different. Embrace them, love them, hold on to them, because nobody else has them in the same mixture or the same combination that you do. You know what I mean? It's like, it reminds me of like back in the day, you know, like if you're somebody that cooks a lot, you'll understand what I'm saying. But like, I can remember like, you know, like watching my mom cook. She was a horrible baker, but she loved to cook. And she would sit there and she would just like throw spices, you know, and I'd be like, well, Mom, like, how do you remake this later? And she'd be like, well, I mean, I don't know. I just throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that or whatever, and it would turn out perfect, right? But there was like no two ways to ever make it the same again, because she just kind of like was guessing at it. Well, that's who each of us are, you know? Each of us, whether we are made from the universe or we are God-given, whatever you believe in, we are unique to the experience that we are living right now, and to the people in our lives, and to the people, you know, I don't know, 10,000 miles away that we might affect in some small way by our actions or words or whatever. Don't ever take your life for granted. You are part of this bigger universe. You are part of the experience that everybody is living right now. And I think, you know, that we all want to be validated, to be acknowledged on some level that our life is important. And I'm telling you, your life is important. You are unique to this world experience that we are all having in this moment. Embrace it, cherish it, and give yourself credit for the amazing person that you are. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.